I'm really shocked at the tone of this debate and how we're talking about immigrants as if somehow they're not real people. The people who came over after the war, my family were part of that wave of people. I'm proud to be British and part of the European community, part of, you know, a giant society of people trying to work to make each other's countries better. I think, you know, we seem to have forgotten that Britain is also supposed, I hope, to be a compassionate nation, a humane nation. That is the Britain I'm proud of, and I want that country back.
Just let's have your questions, see whether you strike a chord with everybody here.
We knew what we voted for in leaving the EU. Why are Remainers making out constantly that we are uneducated people that didn't understand Brexit and what we were doing?
And obviously that's what you feel.
Yes.
You feel it.
I feel we knew, I read everything, I looked into everything. It's how I felt, and I did the old-fashioned pros and cons in writing, and I wanted to leave. But people now are making out as if we're uneducated, as if we don't know what we were doing. And I just think they need to stop doing that.
Anybody else who feels that, incidentally, throwing things at the television or shouting at it is an occupational hazard of watching Question Time. You, sir, the man behind, do you agree with her?
Yeah, I'm one of those people. I find it absolutely abhorrent that people like you come on the end and call that the British people, we lack compassion. You're essentially calling us fascist and racist just because we have concerns about immigration. I'm a primary school teacher, and I've worked at various schools where... Yes, but unfortunately that's exactly the tone that we're taking. I've worked at various schools where English is genuinely not the first language on the playground. Not between the children, but by the parents. Quite often, you go around, because once upon a time, people came to this country and gradually integrated and were welcomed. We're a very welcoming nation. But when you get a massive influx of people all coming at the same time, that's what people have a problem with. That's when we get concerned when we go to the doctors and we can't get appointments. You go down to A&E and it's full. Now, people may turn around and say, no, that's racist, that's fascist, that's not acceptable. But 18 million people, just like that lady says down there, we knew what we were voting for, we know what we want to get out, and the sooner we start in trigger Article 50, the better.
All right. Laurie first. No, you go first. Laurie, keep it short, so we must move on.
All right, to try and answer both of your questions. Look, firstly, I don't believe that people who voted Brexit are stupid. I think, unfortunately, some people may have been lied to and manipulated, and that is not the fault. Excuse me. If you...
Gary, now I know I was wrong. I messed up.
Said that you wanted to engage in the values of America. What are they?
Easily. Responsibility.
That's a value.
Hard work. That's what American dream is all about.
Responsibility.
You work hard. Hey, being a 5'4" Asian guy in this world is not easy, okay?
Being a black man in America is not easy, but
I understand.
No, but wait, let me clarify some shit for your ass, because you want to bring up 5'4" and Asian. Because let's clearly say this: Asian, model minority, Asian people. You were placed in that position by the government because they felt bad once they did internment. And there have been sociologists, psychologists. I know.
You're a victim.
But you would not know. There's no difference in that delineation at one point. There was no difference in the system.
He just said there's a center.
I didn't ask you. I asked him. You're the same guy from last time. I'm not talking to you.
Oh, that's nice. Dismiss people. He just explained it to you, and then you talked all over him. You railroaded him.
You're the same guy from last time.
He just explained it to you.
I'm almost certain.
Can I explain?
Hold the cops.
Yeah. I got that one on camera. I remember that one. That's fine. But you got this. I'm not. Hey, how you doing? What's going on? You like it?
Talk to him.
I'm good.
Talk to him.
I love cameras, by the way.
Yeah. Continue. Quit deflecting.
It's very constructive for me.
Jesus.
Okay.
My parents did not know how to speak English, so what did they do? They worked as a janitor that cleaned toilets, all with the thought of making my life better as they bring me up through education. And then as they were able to save enough money, then they were able to go to night school to learn basic English education tool, and they were able to work at a CBS to develop film. So that was their next. Okay, so as an immigrant, that's your responsibility to quickly work hard to be self-sufficient to give back to the country that allows you to come in here.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying. Now, the reason why I voted for Trump is I want that accountability back. Now, the message that I get from the progressive movement is that we're all victims all the time. If I'm a minority and I'm not successful, it's the white person that has been pushing me down. If I'm white and not successful, it's the 1% that has taken advantage of me. That's their victim mentality. The other thing is, if a kid that goes in school and shoots somebody, you know what, they don't blame the kid. They blame the teachers for not identifying that, oh, that's a troubled kid Joe was.
We should have blamed teachers for that.
Oh my God, I heard that.
I want us to circle back to your point.
It's victimhood. It's never your responsibility. And that's what I feel like this new voice, what he's saying is, we're going to make America great. And part of what I think America great is taking responsibility by giving you opportunity. No, I do not live in a
So how do you make something great?
By having everybody take accountability for their lives.
These Jew fascists have shut down the streets.
Go in the middle of the street
To
again.
prevent us from shutting down the streets.
Go in the middle of the street again. You scared? You scared? Go in the middle.
I just got here.
Go in the middle of the street.
Obviously,
He's scared. Look at him. He's
it's
scared.
called a force multiplier again, Cole. I'm not going to stand up against a force multiplier, Cole.
He believes in it, but he's scared. He won't go out there and get hit with a bat, but he's scared. But he's
Do not argue with the poll. Do not argue with the poll.
He's lying. So why don't you go out there then? You're scared of what you believe in. Go out there, tough guy.
Retard.
Go out there, tough guy.
Retard.
Okay, call me names, but go out there, tough guy. Yeah, pass the mic. Pass the mic to somebody braver. But that person won't die either. Neither will the next person. Neither will the next person. That's why you're standing here and you won't go onto the street. But you want to stop a bus with innocent human beings on it that want to go home to their families. Tough guys. Those are the tough guys. Everybody give it up for them.
Sucking the state's dick, you fucking. Here comes some more.
Peace, love, and happiness. Give it up for the
Thanks for joining the party.
Come out to the street.
Got a line of them.
Stop another bus and we get hit in the head.
Uncle Tom.
White guy just called him Uncle Tom.
Hey, don't you riot goods have other intersections to block?
Same people come out, same people are scared. They are scared. You are terrified. That's why you have your face covered and you won't go to the streets. Go speak to the cops in the street.
So what?
Go demonstrate in the street so you can get your head knocked off. Because you're so brave, you're so tough. Hey, brother, I love you too, brother. Hey, I love you too, brother. I love you too. I love all y'all. I love all y'all, but y'all aren't on the street either. You support it, but you're not in the street just because you're afraid. You're afraid, that's why. It's stupid and you're afraid. It's okay to be afraid, just admit it. Just admit it. This is a stupid, worthless cause, and everybody's wasting their time, and everybody in the world is going to see. Amazing. Amazing.
Why did my penis cross the road to get to the other vagina? Vagina. I wanna have sex with your vagina. Vagina. Vagina.
Nice. Oh, stop the presses, a gay man's catty. Oh, good lord. No speech. Oh dear, oh dear. Let me tell you, sir, fat shaming works. Of course it works. I mean, who would ever imagine that fat shaming wouldn't work? Like somebody you love, so do I look hot in this? No, not anymore. You'd stop eating. And in fact, all the studies suggest. All right, sweetheart. Criminologist Dr. Richard Johnson from the University of Toledo. You want some facts? Here are some. Based on the 2012 numbers, it would take 40 years worth of blacks killed by police to equal the total number of blacks murdered by police in a single year. 900 people have been killed by cops in 2016. 47% were white males. Only 24% were black males. Black men are not killed out of proportion, especially considering that they're much more likely to interact with cops. People are killed by police about as often as they're killed by lightning. There are no protests about storms. Black males are 58% of those killed legally by private citizens in self-defense. You might think that's an aha moment about racist whites, but 75% of those were killed by other blacks. FBI statistics on murder lay bare the real threats to black lives in America. Black men are about 6.5% of the US population, but they commit 52% of all murders over a 30-year period, which has dipped to about 40% in recent years, but still horribly and vastly disproportionate. Black men overwhelmingly murder other black people. Whites overwhelmingly murder other whites. That's not the narrative from Black Lives Matter. Looking at overall violent crime, blacks are 27 times more likely to attack whites than vice versa, and 8 times more likely to attack Hispanics. That's a shocking number I hope you take away from my visit. 90% of blacks that die from murder die at the hands of other black people. Is that enough facts for you?